Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 131. This is a show where I talk about and I recap my week. It has been a pretty good week, right? No ups, no downs. I've been really busy. I think what it is, I think I've been so focused on just quote-unquote working nonstop, trying to avoid my brain experiencing any idle time to think about negative things. Like, I'm trying to get ahead of my brain finding its way into depression. Like, I have a feeling that's what it is. Like, I'm distracting myself away from potentially being depressed. Because I don't necessarily feel manic. I kind of feel okay. But I've had little elements of, like, where I normally will get into a spiral of thinking of some negative, like there's some kind of like hallmark negative things that my brain will latch onto, and just especially kind of getting towards the holiday season, it's much more accessible for my brain to go down those dark hallways of thoughts. And I've definitely been keeping myself busy. And by work, a lot of my work is watching movies, watching TV shows. And I made a kind of a decision during the week where last week I did a top 5 of George Romero's zombie movies, and my intention was to do a top 5 of the rest of Romero's movies. And I had already started watching a lot of those movies last week in preparation, but I made a change because this week was the release of the new Mike Flanagan TV show, The Midnight Club, which I'm doing an episode-by-episode recap of. So I figured I would do a top 5 of Mike Flanagan movies, which I will be doing tomorrow. One, because I've enjoyed his work after watching Midnight Mass and then watching Hill House, the 2 miniseries that he's done on Netflix. I had seen Hush before, one of his films. I'd also seen Gerald's Game before. But there were films that I hadn't seen of his, and just to kind of complete and just dig into his stuff, I felt it was good timing. But I also wanted to watch George Romero stuff. So I ended up not only watching George Romero stuff, I did that first, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch all of his stuff first. And I take notes on everything to help me remember, because otherwise having to recall all of these things that I'm reviewing or ranking or whatever, I need notes, which I take notes on everything. So I watched all of Romero's stuff and I was like, if I can get this done early, then maybe I'll be able to watch all of his stuff and then watch all of Mike Flanagan's stuff. And then I also wanted to watch all of The Midnight Club. I wanted to binge the whole season, even though I'm doing episode by episode. I wanted to get a holistic kind of view of what the season's about and everything. And I was able to do that, which, involved a lot of movie watch, a lot of great movies. Maybe some of George Romero's later stuff, not that great, which I will be doing next Sunday. But I was able to finish Romero's stuff. I was also able to finish Mike Flanagan's movies, which I will be ranking tomorrow. And I was able to watch the other movies that I reviewed. And also, I will be able to start. So I'm basically a week ahead on stuff, which is good, because what I plan on doing for the final Sunday of October, which is a week from next Sunday, I want to do my top 5 Halloween movies, because I've watched a few of the Halloween movies. I've obviously seen the first Halloween movie. A long time ago, I saw H2O. Last year, I saw both of Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, which the first one is pretty good. I didn't like the second one. But I wanted to last year, didn't get to it, but this year I wanted to watch all of the movies, right? Which there's different offshoots of how the story goes. Like you watch these group of movies for one kind of continuous story, then like Halloween 3 is kind of its own thing, and then the Rob Zombie thing is like its own reboot, and then like the newer movies that have come out are part of this kind of connection of movies. So I'm going to have 2 weeks to watch all of those, which I probably will be able to get done a lot sooner than that, but way ahead. But I also will be using this time to be putting out new merch, which I've been talking about. I kind of started prepping the images, which is basically just taking the images of my paintings that I put out every day, the many faces, and just doing some minor editing to get them print ready for prints as well as t-shirts. So there's a lot of them I want to do because I have 100 new paintings since the last time I've put merch out. So it's been a while. It's been almost, 3 months of the year. Is that 3 months, 4 months of the year? I don't know. It's been a while. But that is something I want to do, which I know is going to take a lot of time, and something that like I can't watch TV. I can't watch movies that I'm going to review and do that, right? I can listen to stuff, but if I'm going to review something, I need to be paying attention to it. So I'll be able to have stuff on the background while I do that. And now that I have, I've opened up space for myself, I will be able to focus on that for days, and it'll just be, which is how I like to work, is just get lost in it and just focus on it for days. And there'll probably be other peripheral projects that I'll get done as well, like probably updating my website. I've started writing on my personal blog because of the promotion for Inspired Disorder Plus, which if you sign up for a year of Inspired Disorder Plus, you get a free painting. So it's a $150 value for $50. So you get a year of Inspired Disorder Plus, which is ad-free of this show, with a bunch of other stuff, and a free painting. So I'm hoping I get at least a few people to sign up for that. And one of the benefits is my own personal blog, which I haven't really been adding to for a while, for almost a year, really. But there's also really no members yet. There's one member, but somebody that's not really, doesn't take advantage of it. They're just donating to donate to me, which is appreciated. But I want to use my personal blog as a way to start creative writing again, which is something that I used to do way back in the MySpace days. I would use the billboard on MySpace to do creative writing, which is something that I never really done before, only really did it for that. And I enjoyed it. It was a cathartic kind of way to let go of ideas and put things out in a form that I don't normally do. And maybe podcasting is what took me away from that. I was able to kind of get that same release from podcasting that I did creative writing. But I am excited to do more creative writing. And I'm going to be using that to do creative writing, but just to be active on it, to write personal stuff, things that I don't necessarily mention in this show on there. Maybe there'll be clips from this show that will be part of that as well. So that's kind of why one of the reasons why I've gotten ahead of everything, mostly to get that merch stuff done, because I want to get it done before shopping season. I want to get it done before the end of October is the main goal. So I can start promoting it and hopefully get some sales, make some money, survive a little bit longer. And yeah, so it's been a good week. I've really enjoyed the movies I've watched. I'm glad that things are finally starting to cool off. I mean, it still gets into the 90s during the day, but at least it's less than 100 degrees. At night, it's starting to cool off. Soon I'll be able to just open the doors and just get nice and chilly in here at night, which I'm looking forward to. Let's take a little break from the show to promote gift certificates. If you want to purchase artwork for somebody, you have an art lover in your life, and you think they would like my art, but you don't know what painting to get them. I have over 2,000 original pieces of art for sale in my store, along with shirts and prints and other things. So I can understand that being a bit daunting if you're trying to buy something for somebody else. Give them the gift certificate, and then they can go to my website, inspireddisorder.com, and they can buy whatever paintings they want. They can buy whatever prints they want. They can buy t-shirts. They can buy hats. They can buy all the different merch. Gift certificates, which are available currently at inspireddisorder.com. And now let's get back to the show. And then also this week, I officially painted my 2,000th face for the many faces. I think technically I'm up to 2002, so they'll be being released this week. So by the time this episode comes out, I think 2001 will have been released. So they've been painted. They just, get released the next week. So I've painted 2,000 faces. And it's crazy because I remember when I finished 100 back in Denver, and I knew what kind of a milestone that was, like how proud I was of my accomplishments doing 100 faces. And I also remember when I finished 1,000 faces and how excited I was to keep going and how I felt like I could do this forever. And now that I've done 2,000 faces, I still feel that way because this past week I experimented. I'm still free. I still feel free when I do it. I still feel like I have a lot of experimenting to do and trying new ideas and growing and developing the style and the things that I do with it, which is crazy. It's crazy that I've gotten to 2,000 faces and I still feel like there's no reason for me to stop. Like, I don't feel like I've run out of ideas. Because, a lot of the stuff I'm not really thinking of. That just kind of... I'm just filling pages. I'm filling blank spaces on a piece of paper. And, there's not a lot of planning that goes involved. There's not ideas that I'm trying to flesh out. It's just what I feel like in the moment, how it happens, the colors I use, the brushes I use. It's all like in the moment, just I really don't think about it that much. It's just really just looking at what I'm doing and then what's the next thing to fill in some space? What's the next thing to do? Like what can I do? Does this need something added to it or is this time to stop painting the face? Right? Kind of the only questions I'm asking myself. And if they're still adding more, it's like, okay, well, like size, like what tool do I want to use to fill in more space? What spaces need to be filled? What layers need to happen? What things? And then where can I just like let go and just say, fuck it? And this last week, I said, fuck it with a lot of stuff. I'm like, I'm going to get messy. I'm getting fucking messy. And I do that sometimes. Sometimes I like to be clean and trying to be like, it just depends on my mood, depends on what I'm feeling. And then last Thursday, I was like, I want to get fucking messy. I'm going to enjoy this. Like it's weird. Like I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do some messy stuff and I'm going to have fun doing it. And, 2,000 faces in and I'm still happy with it. And, I just hope that other people will discover my work and enjoy my work and want to start collecting my work. And, I'm thankful to be able to be doing this, surviving on any way I can, living the absolute poorest life I've ever lived, but in a situation where I'm able to at least live at all, exist, and do these things that I love doing, podcasting, painting, and seeing audiences grow, seeing, social media accounts get new followers, seeing people enjoy and like my stuff, seeing new subscribers to this show, seeing new subscribers to the YouTube page. So it's like slow going, but at least they're going. And I appreciate that. So yeah, it's kind of, kind of a big milestone this week. 2,000 faces, officially 2,000 faces. And, my new thing that I want to start doing and add it to, which was something that I've wanted to do this past year and just failed, tried different attempts to do it, to implement this new thing into my routine of creating, is to get in the routine of turning those paintings into prints, into t-shirts, and having those things available. So there's things that are at a lower price point for people to collect and purchase from me to support me if they don't necessarily want to spend the money that an original painting costs. So, which I understand that. But something, still want to get in the, which I think I can. I think I can do that. And, I'm really surprised that I'm surviving as long as I have. Really surprised. But yeah, it's been a good week. And that's one other thing I want to start doing on this show, the Rayz Dayz, is to try and be more positive, because it's so easy. It's like effortless to be negative. It's so easy to identify the bad things, to talk about the bad, complain about the bad things. And it really takes effort to step back and, despite so many bad things going on in the world, to identify the things that are going good in my life. Right? Could things be better? Of course. Could things be worse? Absolutely. So, trying to be more positive is something I want to do, and I want to talk about the things that I'm thankful for. I want to try and actively be positive on this show more so. Right? I'll save the negative stuff for swipe up. All right? When I'm talking about current events and news, that's just easy to be negative, even though there's positive things that come out in that show too. But at least this show, I tried to do the comments thing, but comments end up being negative usually. And it feels weird reading positive comments, right? That's not exactly the type of positivity I want to go for. So I want to talk about the things I'm thankful for. So first thing I'm thankful for is I'm thankful to be living a life, surviving in whatever way, whatever means, somehow I'm able to survive. I'm able to eat food. I'm able to create artwork on my terms. I'm able to create the exact artwork I want to be creating in the exact way I want to be creating it. I'm thankful to be creating this podcast in very much the same way, on my own terms. I'm creating the podcast exactly how I want to create it. And both things that I'm doing, I feel like I could do forever. There will never be a movie that I don't want to talk about. Every week, there's at least something that I could talk about on this show. News is always happening. I love watching groups of movies that are related in order to rank them. Every aspect of this show, I enjoy doing, and I feel like I could do forever. Right? The idea of burnout doesn't at all feel... there's definitely Sundays where I wake up and it's just I go through the motions because I don't feel like recording. But that's definitely not every week. That's very rare that I'm just recording to record. And even sometimes those episodes turn out good. Sometimes where I feel great about recording, I don't like the way the show turns out. But it doesn't matter. That aside, the end product of the things that I do is not what I'm focused on. The feeling of getting things done and enjoying the overall body of work that I'm able to create, I'm very thankful to be in a position where I can put time and energy into creating my art and creating my podcast in a way, exactly the way, the only thing I would change is income. I really wouldn't change that much. I'm doing everything exactly how I would want it to be. I'm not in need of things. I feel like everything is very I'm very happy with everything. So I'm thankful to be able to do that, and having been able to do that for as long as I have been, and it will continue to be thankful as long as I'm able to. Let's take a little break from the show to promote. If you sign up for Inspired Disorder Plus for 1 year specifically, you get a free painting. So a year subscription of Inspired Disorder Plus is $50. The painting, the majority of them are $100. So it's a $150 value signing up for 1 year of Inspired Disorder Plus. So not only do you get a free painting, but you also are subscribed to Plus for a year, which means that you can binge this show, The Ray Taylor Show, ad-free, the full week, ad-free, available on Monday. You also get discounts that are members-only pricing type of deals. All of the podcasts that I've produced in the past, close to 20 different podcasts I've produced, hundreds of episodes. There's also my personal blog. You can ask me anything if you want to start podcasting or get into art. All of that stuff available in addition to a free painting when you sign up to 1 year subscription of Inspired Disorder Plus. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. And now let's get back to the show. I'm also thankful that I get to watch so many great movies. It's amazing. I have watched so many, not only new movies, but I also finally watching classic films that have just gone off the radar, that are blind spots in my movie watching life. To finally be watching these classic films in so many ways, and to be discovering new movies, being able to watch these Indian films, so many great films that I never knew existed, a whole new genre of films that I've fallen in love with. Just like the quality of movies that I've been able to watch and talk about and share, I'm very thankful for, because it's an amazing time to have access to all of these movies and to be in a position where I can just easily watch them and watch them and pay attention and take notes and really soak them up and really put myself in the enjoyment of consuming these films. I'm very thankful to be able to watch all of these movies. Also thankful to be living with people that respect and love me and the work that I do. It's very easy, would be very easy for the majority of people to only respect my work as long as it's bringing in a certain amount of money. The idea that all of the work that I do isn't correlated to my income, and that those things aren't necessarily connected, and that at any time the income that I receive can change dramatically. But allowing me, giving me the space and privacy and respect to be in my own space and create my work and do my work without interruption and without any pressure, without any negativity, is amazing. It's amazing. Very thankful for that, right? Maybe I don't socialize with anybody. I'm pretty much in solitary mode, which is amazing. It's kind of the way I prefer to live. Like, I'm living in a way that I'm actually pretty happy, right? Very little anxiety. When apparently I get most of my anxiety comes from having to be around people. So having the ability to do my work in the way I want without any kind of added pressure I'm very thankful for that, even though things could change. Life is a crazy thing, and, situations can change. I mean, the pandemic kind of came out of nowhere and changed a lot of things, so things can change drastically at any moment. So I'm thankful in this moment right now that I'm able to do that, and that I'm surrounded by people that love and respect me and the work I do. So I'm very thankful for that. And I'm very thankful to be continuing to learn and grow and experiment. I haven't gotten into any kind of rut. I haven't gotten into, like, the work that I'm doing today is different than the work I was doing a month ago, which is vastly different than the work I was doing 2 years ago. The quality of work that I do, the things that I'm constantly trying to do, the fact that I don't feel inhibited or scared to try new things, or I still feel I have the freedom to really experiment and try and fail, succeed, trial and error, all that stuff. I'm thankful to have that opportunity and to still be kind of having that fresh, rejuvenated kind of feel towards my work. So I'm thankful for those things. That is what I'm thankful for. Kind of a long list because it's my first time doing it. Hopefully, I would like to at least one thing every episode of the show to talk about or mention something that I'm thankful for. Those are the things I'm thankful for. Obviously, Thanksgiving is coming up, which is, I don't really care about that holiday, but that idea of being thankful is something that is important, and I'd like to add that to this show. So that's what I'm thankful for. I'm also thankful for anybody that watches this show, that watches any of the episodes of my show. I know I put out a ton of stuff, and it would be ridiculous to assume anybody would listen or watch to everything I do. But for those that jump in and jump out or whatever, I'm just thankful for, if a video gets 1 view or gets, 20,000 views, I'm thankful to have the opportunity to do what I'm doing and hope that I will continue to have that opportunity. But in the moment right now, I'm thankful for everything. So thank you all. And I hope you all have a great week. Peace.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.